We are on Apple Tree Bay in Burlington, which is in part of Lake Champlain, and we're at Leddy Park. We're here to talk about shoreline erosion and means of addressing shoreline erosion, and I've chosen to come to Leddy Park because they've done a particularly good erosion control project here. What they've done is they've got a controlled access stairway to the lake to allow people to come down here, and then they've got some what are called gabions at the toe of the slope to prevent erosion. The soils around here are very sandy, so erosion is a problem. Wind and wave action will break them down. They've increased the mass of the base with the gabions. A gabion's essentially a wire basket that you put big heavy rocks in, and the basket keeps them all together so that you're increasing the mass and reducing the amount of erosion that can control. They work well as an erosion control project because you can allow vegetation to grow through them. The alternative to a gabion is something like a rock wall, and that provides no wildlife habitat, whereas the gabion, you can stick willow roots or other things through it and provide wildlife habitat in addition to getting the erosion control that you're hoping for. Gabions are relatively cheap compared to constructing walls. Because they allow the vegetation to grow back through them, they're unobtrusive, so you don't necessarily see them from the lakeside and therefore more aesthetically pleasing. So they offer a lot of advantages. The controlled access is important because you want people all using the same trails down, and you want to keep those trails as vegetated as possible. In other places along here, you'll see where folks have made their own paths down from the bike path to the beach, and that just takes the vegetation away, begins erosion, and once that erosion starts, it's almost impossible to reestablish vegetation. So this stairway here funnels all people down a common point to then allow them to use the beach. And you'll see as you walk along here, there's a lot of seawalls that have been put up to prevent erosion. One challenge with the seawalls is you first have to identify where the water's coming from. A lot of people just assume because you're on the lake, it's the wind and waves causing the erosion problems that they see, when in fact it's often the stormwater coming from the land side that's pushing the walls. So that down further here, there's a wall that fairly soon after being built started tilting forward because the pressure from behind it wasn't controlled, and the assumption was it was coming from the problem was coming from the lakeside, when really it was that water from behind it causing erosion. Another thing about this project is you'll notice in comparison to some of the other projects along here, it's set fairly far up along the beach. It's back a ways from the water. That allows the beach itself to help provide some erosion control as well, as waves will dissipate against the beach before hitting whatever it is you're trying to protect, in this case the erodible slope. They've also left trees here in front of the baskets, which will serve as well to break the force of some of those waves. So preventing the erosion, using the natural vegetation to help break wave actions in combination with a control structure, the gabions, has put together an erosion control project that is friendly to the lake.